Hello, everybody. Jack
Lucy, you're not
Olmsted.
allowed. Lucy's not allowed to laugh.
Well, I think that's going to be a hard thing to do. I'm Jack Olmsted. I'm coming to you from Port Townsend, Washington. Today, we're going to be talking with Tyson McGuffin. He is in Yakima, Washington. They kind of get our old weather. You getting some rain over there?
You know what? For the last week and a half, the weather does not want to make up its mind. Yeah, it's a mixture of sunny days or like 50s, and then rainy days and some cold mornings and all that. So definitely not playing outdoor pickleball, that's for sure.
And we also have Lucy Kovalova.
Hello, everyone.
And she's from She's not from Yakima. She is from. Where are you from? Wichita, Kansas.
That's right. Yes. And originally from Slovakia.
That's right. And she's going home to Slovakia in about 2 weeks.
Right. I'm excited.
That's right. So let's talk about Tyson. Let's talk about your fashion statement. What are you wearing today? I know that's very important.
I'm wearing, actually, I'm just wearing a shirt and a beanie and nothing else.
We're gonna have to, use our imagination on that one.
Yeah, I just, it's a little cold here and I haven't shaved for a while. Definitely have not gotten a haircut. So when I'm looking a little, weathered, I would say I throw a beanie on. But yeah, just a beanie and a t-shirt. So I just got back from the gym.
And how about you, Lucy? Let's talk about your fashion statement today.
Well, I had to change because Jack told me that I'm wearing the same thing like I was wearing last time, even though it was completely different color and different jacket. But okay, so I had to go and change. So I'm wearing my blue Nike shirt, and I think that's what you can see. Great, comfortable, perfect.
And you just flashed your nails. Yeah, I see that. Lucy, do you ever do laundry?
What?
I said, do you ever do laundry? Is that why you're wearing the same clothes?
Yeah, I do laundry pretty often, actually.
And she has a huge closet of clothes from her tennis professional.
That's true. Yeah.
So Tyson, tell us about yourself. Or Lucy, do you want to start this off? You can ask him to tell us about himself.
All right, Tyson, are you ready? I have a bunch of questions for you.
I'm ready.
All right, first question. Tell us something about yourself.
So I grew up in a little town, a little tourist town in central Washington called Lake Chelan. It's a town of like 5,000 people. There was no tennis whatsoever there. So I had to drive about an hour outside of Lake Chelan to train as a kid. I grew up as a big wrestler. I started wrestling when I was 5. Other brothers and 2 older sisters. My dad was a wrestling coach at the high school there in Chelan. My oldest brother was an All-American for Boise State. So huge wrestling family, all the brothers. I'm the baby, so all my brothers, they were beating up on me as a kid. But yeah, I didn't pick up tennis until I was like 12 or 13. So in love with it. At that time, I was kind of burnt out with wrestling. My dad was my coach and stuff, and he was kind of a hard nose. So yeah, picked up tennis, fell in love with it, and played 2 years in junior college, and then played some open tournaments and all that. Tried to play some satellites and stuff. Never made it out of qualies. And then yeah, around 2012, I got certified to start teaching tennis, got my USPTA certification. Took a job in Houston for about a year. Houston was a little different from my hometown of 5,000 people. So a year in, I was looking for something different, found a job in Yakima, and then I've been here ever since. And I'm engaged. We're getting married next summer, and I have a little guy who is 3.
Do you want to show some pictures?
Yeah, of course. All right, is it sharing?
It is sharing.
Perfect. Okay, so I kind of have a funny story. Maybe some people might laugh. So this is my little guy. Maybe it's not funny, but so this is my fiance. What was kind of funny was well, I used to for a period of time I went back to Lake Chelan, and my dad had passed away and stuff, and I was running his restaurant. At that time, my fiance and I were both running the restaurant, and everybody kept thinking that she was my sister. So kind of a weird scenario. So I had to talk my way out of that a few times. But yeah, so that's my fiance. She grew up in a town, 30 miles outside of Lake Chelan. We're both from Central Washington. So I love her to death. Let's see. Let's get another picture here. Hang on one sec. And I believe that she is watching the live stream, so I got to watch what I say. Okay. Hang on real quick. So here's some older photos. Like I said, I was a wrestler. I don't know if I mean, I'm sure some people have seen me play singles. I'm kind of a crazy maniac on the court. I tend to be fairly loud and say come on and pump my fist and pump my chest and all that. So the wrestling background kind of gave me that wild, fiery mentality. Hang on one sec. So here's just a photo of me. This is like, I don't know, sophomore, junior high school. In the famous singlet that I could not imagine wearing again.
How successful were you in high school as a wrestler?
Yeah. I placed at state. Placed at state my senior year. As when I was ages like 10 to 14, I was super involved and I was wrestling a lot. My dad would take me all over. I won Greco Nationals and Freestyle Nationals when I was 12, so I did super good when I was young. And then by the time I got to high school, I found tennis and just fell in love with tennis. Tennis was obviously very different from wrestling. So kind of at that time, I was done cutting weight and going in the sauna and trying to drop 5 pounds before a match and all that. So here's a photo of me in high school. I had long, crazy hair. Let's see. I'll give you some pictures of my little guy. He tends to run the house anyways. All right, so here's him. He's got the long curly hair. He thinks he's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean that's me in a nutshell. I teach tennis for a living. Hang on real quick, sorry, hang on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, teach tennis for a living, picked up pickleball like last year around this time. In my area, there's really nobody to play with. So it's been fairly slim pickings. I was actually on the pickleball show yesterday. I feel like a star this week. I was on the pickleball show yesterday with Chris Allen and Mark. Gosh, what's Mark's last name? He is from Ontario, Canada.
Renison?
I can't remember his last name. Yes. Good guy. Selkirk guy, too. Lucy Selkirk. I'm just kidding.
Lucy's been playing with Engaged since day one, since a year ago.
I know.
You guys started at the same time.
Of course, I love all the companies. They're all great companies. So yeah, I've been playing pickleball for about a year and a half. There is only 4.0 and 4.5 guys in my area. So slim pickings. And I still, like before nationals, I was playing tennis 2 or 3 days a week. And then I was playing pickleball 1 day a week. And then I'd spend like a day drilling for 2 or 3 hours for pickleball. So it's slim pickings in my area. And then I spent a lot of time just running hills and killing myself and getting ready for singles. So So yeah, there's a few other players in our area. Ken Curry just moved to Tri-Cities. He's an old, senior guy who's been around forever, and I think he won nationals last year. He's won a couple national titles. So, but yeah, I'm loving it, man. The whole pickleball scene and the whole social scene and all that's great. So,
Do you have a question for Tyson, Lucy, or do you have a statement?
Well, okay, so let's start with the basically play pickleball time like you. Around like time, and also we don't have that many players to play with here either.
Yeah.
So I can relate to that we have maybe like, well, I have a Matt here, Jack Oxler is here, and we always rotate one more person with us and just like play with each other most of the time. So yeah, it's hard to like get really ready for a tournament if you don't really have like variety of players to play.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I have a question for you.
What's up?
Now I have many questions on my list. Which one you want? They're all tough. Okay. So basically, how did you figure out about pickleball? Like, how did you start playing?
I feel like my story's fairly similar to most of the tennis players, An older gentleman who was 60, 65 wrote me out to come to the YMCA. When I got there, it was literally not to belittle pickleball at all, but it was 65 plus, right? So I got there and I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And I almost walked the opposite direction. So went in there, dinked around with some old ladies, had some fun. I think the highest level in there that day was like a 3.5 or something. So yeah, it was fun. And then like the weekend after, the same guy told me to play in a singles tournament at the YMCA. Okay, so I played this little rinky-dink, non-sanctioned deal. It was like a little 5-0 tournament, and lost to this guy who's like 65, right? And at that time, I had no idea how to play. I'm like staying back at the baseline, like trying to grind and put 20 balls on the court, and anyhow, he beat me, and I was done, right? I was fed up. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna play pickleball again. 2 months later, I started watching some videos, did a little bit of research, and started playing again, and understood, like, just from watching, I found a way, or just kind of found a way to play, and then yeah, that kind of opened up some new doors for me. And then a couple months down the road, I played a tournament in Portland, did fairly well, and then fell in love with it. So, like with anyone, right? Once you get introduced to like the whole tournament scene and meeting people and the social scene and all the perverts, I mean, it's great.
Well, you got lucky because my first tournament was US Open, so it was a little tougher than your first tournament.
And you won it.
I didn't. We won a few age events, but I finished second in singles. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I felt the same way. I didn't know what to do. Like, I know I need to get in, but that's the first time I played singles, actually, real singles match.
Really?
Okay, so you had a pretty successful tournament 2 or 3 weeks ago in nationals. So tell us about it.
Yeah, going in, I knew I was going to be a nobody. I definitely knew that. I mean, I was somewhat on the map. I had good results at TOC for singles. Doubles, I'm still trying to figure it out. Whether I want to be a safe kind of guy and just play boring and just keep the ball and play and dink, or if I want to be aggressive, So yeah, going in, didn't really have too many expectations. I thought I'd do well in singles, but doubles, I just thought I'd kind of go with it and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, shoot, great time down there. I was down there for 10 days. From day one to like the very last day, meeting people, sharing stories, networking, and just the whole scene. I mean, it's awesome. I'll definitely be down there again. And I've been telling, all of our juniors at our tennis club, I'm like, hey, put a paddle in your hand, start playing, and you can come down to nationals with me next year. But no, I had a good time. I took second in 2 singles events. Took second in 19 plus age, and then the men's open. In doubles, Beanie, the guy from Canada in age. We did okay. We won some matches. Probably beat a few guys that we shouldn't have or had no business beating, which is always good. And then men's open doubles, I had a great partner. Unfortunately, I just could not hold my own, and I'll probably take the blame. Callan's a stud, and I was probably getting picked on a little bit. So, but yeah, me and Callan, I think like tied for 5th. You know, we lost to Matt. Unfortunately, even I hate Matt. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we lost to Matt and Oliver. So I'm just kidding. So yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, I had a great time. After my age singles, that very next day, I woke up and literally felt like a train had hit me. So I went and got an 1.5-hour massage, and after that, I was right back. So, so yeah, little treatment, you know, on off days, taking care of my body, eating well. I tend to cramp a lot, so I took a lot of electrolytes, ate a lot of bananas, and I was taking those leg cramp pills like there was no tomorrow. So I think the biggest heartbreaker for me of the tournament, I mean, obviously I lost to Marston in the finals and it was tight, was in the age. I was playing Daniel Moore. I don't want to like cry over this, obviously, because it's done and over with. And Daniel, I give him all the credit because the guy's awesome. But in age, I was playing Daniel in the main draw. I was up 10-7 in the 3rd game, and I may have blew it. I didn't blow it. I missed one little pass, and then Daniel hit 5 winners in a row. And you know, when Daniel gets hot, the guy can just paint the lines like there's no tomorrow. So Nationals was awesome. I love it. Love it. Love the people. I wish I could have hung out with you more. I'm just kidding. You know, what's funny is that I don't think we actually. I don't think we actually met until like the last day or something. We just like walked by each other.
Yeah.
We just like walked by. Didn't.
Like I was busy, you know, like talking to everyone.
I know. Yeah, and you know what's so funny too is like at those tournaments you get so lost, right? Like throughout the day you're like playing matches and you're seeing hundreds of people and you're having conversations and like they're calling you out. It is such a draining day, is it not?
Yeah, it's a long day.
It's a long day.
Half of the day I want to find my friends where they play so I can watch them and just like walking around like where your friends are playing and just like trying to find their match, and then you get called, you have to find your stuff and your paddle, so you have to go there, and then oh, you don't have water, so you have to go get water. All day like that.
Yeah, but no, Nationals was it was awesome. You know, I wish I could have came home with the gold medal, but you know, always next year, so plenty of time.
You got a silver medal.
That's okay. I didn't bring any gold medals either.
Can you show us?
Yeah.
Can you show us your silver?
Yeah, it's over here. Hang on.
And Lucy, you've already showed us your silver medals.
Yeah, I had 2 silver, 1 bronze.
And the bronze was in women's doubles, open.
That's right. So, Tyson, I'm more successful than you.
We know that.
But I will make sure that Tyson knows that too.
but Tyson has a sponsored deal. You're still deciding which one you want to go with. Is that right?
Who? Lucius?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah. What are some? Here it is.
Here it is, baby.
It's not the medal. Nice.
Good job. You got how many medals?
Gold medal.
How many medals do you
have?
have?
It's all about the silver. I have 2 medals, and then and this nice little guy. I know it's kind of tough to see. There we go.
There you go. Okay, 2nd place. That's cool.
Yeah. So, you know what's funny is that when I packed for Nationals, everything was nice and tight. And then when I came home, literally, I had to unload clothes because, you know, I guess, I'm not going to lie, the very last day, I sweat like a machine, right? So, like, the very last day, I ran out of shirts. And so, Selkirk, I'm pretty sure they gave me, like, 9 T-shirts because I had already gone through about 6. So, when I came home, right, I had to shove all these shirts. And I may have not done laundry the night before because I was in a hurry and I got done so late when we went out to dinner and stuff, and I flew out that next morning. Shoved all this stuff in my bag, and literally I felt like, you know, I was walking through the airport and stuff was just like falling out of my bag. Yeah, I I may have been a mess.
Well, I had trouble with the trophies because they're really heavy, so my bag was overweight, and they were like, well, it's a little. You wanna pay? And I was like, well, and Matt and Jag they were there. I was like, okay, guys, I need to put my trophies in your bag because it's too heavy. So, oops.
Right.
Okay, so
yeah,
you
no.
lost to Daniel. 1 second. You lost to Daniel, which Daniel is a great player. Team Daniel. I said it, Team Daniel. I said it like 150 times over the weekend. And then also you lost to Mad, which Mad, I am happy about it, sorry. And then you lost to Marson in finals. So what is your strategy to beat those guys next time?
Yeah. You know, I mean, I beat Daniel in the men's open bronze match. You know, and honestly, I feel like I got better, obviously, like throughout the week, you know, being in Yakima, that there obviously, I mean, just like you, right, there really isn't any pickleball. So days, I didn't play any mix down there, right, because I'm the new guy and everybody's scared of me and nobody wants to be my partner. And so anyhow, it's tough finding a women's partner, right? So days that I had off, I was still playing like 5 to 7 hours a day. And I was that crazy guy on days off who was playing singles. Nobody else does it, I feel like. I know. So, you know, like by the very last day on like men's open singles day, you know, 10 days in, I just felt like I was dialed in and, you know, I mean, I was definitely peaking at that time. So, you know, guys like that, like against Kyle and Morgan and, you know, all the big guys, I was trying to get the serve deep, you know, trying to be aggressive on the serve. And then with my passing shots, you know, I was always looking to hit a forehand. I mean, if I have to hit a backhand, that's fine. I'll try to rip some backhands, but yeah, just mainly trying to set up to hit as many forehands as I can and then put a lot of pace on the ball. You know, 6-7 months ago, I played pretty safe. I was like a Galman Feast, like on the, I mean, obviously he's 10 times greater than I am and tennis and all that, not to relate us and like that, but just in general, like how he moves and how he plays and stuff. I was safe. I was conservative. I didn't pull the trigger much, and I just used my legs. And so going into nationals, I knew I had to be aggressive. I played Marson at TOC, and I was playing safe, and he blew me off the court, and it was fairly embarrassing. So I knew that I had to be aggressive. So that was it. That was the idea, was just to hit forehands, you know, and move and you know, when it was 4-all, 5-all in those close matches, you know, try to win a few big points. You know, have a few come-ons, kind of get in my opponent's head a little bit, and then run it from there. But you know, against Marson, he's obviously the strategy is much different with Marson than it is with Kyle and Daniel, right? I mean, Kyle and Daniel, I feel like, you know, I could hit my forehand and stay back and pass those guys. Against Marson, anytime I try to pass him and stay back, he's so good with stretching. Obviously, he's 6'4", right? So he can stretch. He can block the volley back deep and then kind of neutralize and like reset the point. So if I didn't close against Marson, I wasn't going to win. So obviously the targets are a lot smaller. And then I was looking to hit passing shots and then come in and close. Obviously each match is different, but yeah, my main philosophy is chipping and charging on the return, and then just hitting the forehand, moving the forehand around, and then moving my butt off.
Are you putting any spin on the ball? Any top spin?
You know what? With the Maxima, I used to use the Enrique paddle at TOC. I was using the Enrique paddle, and that was when I was playing super safe. I was just kind of rolling the ball in the court and move in, and wasn't really hitting big passing shots. With the Maxima, yes. Morgan, you are awesome. I know I'm not as cool as you because I'm not drinking beer on the show. Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the Maxima, you know, I can get the ball up and down a bit. I can get some shape on it. Just the main thing, I guess, for me is that when I got the Maxima, I knew I had to be aggressive. And I switched over like a month before nationals. And when I switched over, I had Rob and Mike Barnes. I had to make the paddle a little heavier. So it was, you know, anywhere from like 8.4 to 8.6 ounces. So that gave me a lot of pop. So I knew I had to be aggressive. And then just that whole, you know, philosophy of having a new paddle, Lucy's like, you know how it is, right? You change something, and whether it's, you know, changing the grip, you know, it's funny how I feel like pickleball, I mean, tennis players definitely, they're like very, I guess nutty is the word, you know. They get something in their head, and then all of a sudden something happens, you know, or like a change can take place. So with me, yeah, the paddle was huge, and then I just told myself I had to be aggressive. So.
Okay, I have a question. What is your favorite stroke, and what do you think is your biggest strength? Like, okay, you wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, my forehand or my serve or return or whatever will be great that day.
Right. You know what? I think what separates me from most of the guys is my movement. You know, my ability to slide. You know, I don't know, being explosive like out of my first step. I mean, like in tennis, kind of how I survived was I could grind. I could put 20 balls in the court, and I was gonna make the guy be out there for 2.5 hours.
I would hate you for doing that.
I know. I can only imagine how big and flat your tennis game is.
Exactly.
So yeah, that the whole, you know, idea of sliding around that came from tennis. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I have right now. You know, and just I think like the mental toughness. You know, being a wrestler growing up, and the whole individual aspect of being a wrestler, and you know, being like the youngest in my family, and just that whole toughness, you know, is definitely paid off. I have a funny little story. So this is just kind of how intense my dad was. So he used to take us to all these wrestling tournaments, you know, and throw all the brothers in a van, and we all take off to, you know, Idaho or Montana, or go to these national tournaments. So every 200 miles in the car, okay, I promise you, this is a real story. My dad would throw us out on the highway, and so he was the guy driving in the van on the whatever that's called, like the little side lane, right, where you park your car on the freeway, and he would drive behind us and make us run a mile every 200 miles on the road. So just, you know, I would say the whole movement thing, you know, and then yeah, just being a fighter out there.
Okay, that story is funny because every time when we were little, we were playing like a bunch of tournaments, and all the girls were saying, and guys were like, if you're not gonna play well, you're gonna run behind the car, and you have to like
really?
stay with the car. So that was our story too, but we never done it. But it was always like saying, like, if you're not gonna play well, you're gonna run home.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No,
okay.
I'm surprised my dad was never arrested.
All right, another plan for the future. You have some tournaments coming up, or
Yes. So coming up, just some local tournaments, you know, like in Portland, Seattle area. I'm playing one next weekend in Corvallis, Oregon. Little doubles tournament. So in 2017, I'm going to play doubles the whole year with Matt Gobble. Matt, I don't know if you know Matt, is a guy based out of Spokane. Yeah, it's good tennis player, super aggressive doubles player. So yeah, we had a good little run in San Diego for the what is that tournament called? Like it's not called the Melba tournament. Callan and Steve Dawson run it. It's at their little clubs at the Bobby Riggs Tennis Center. Me and Matt had a good little run there. So yeah, I think we're gonna do well in 2017. But yeah, just local tournaments in the spring. Definitely hit US Open. Still trying to figure out my schedule because the US Open is just so funky. You know, it's Monday singles and then a bunch of age mixed stuff throughout the week, and obviously, you know, I can't find a stinking mixed partner, so I'm gonna be down there for 3 or 4 days just doing somersaults on the grass, and then play doubles on Friday.
Well, it's not easy to find a good mixed partner. Okay, I'm just saying.
It's tough. And yeah, US Open. You know, US Open. Definitely play Canadian Nationals. Up in Kelowna, play the San Diego tournament again. I mean the usual big tournaments and all that, and then just some local stuff.
All right, that sounds like a good plan. All right, Jack, I will give you time to have a question. Your turn now.
Oh, what's your secret sauce? Any tips for players, Tyson?
Yeah, of course. You know, I say it's kind of like my same philosophy in tennis. You know, I'm a big mental toughness guy. You know, I mean, obviously technique and strategy and all that stuff plays a part, but I mean, mentally, if you can't hang tough and survive and just hang in there, then things tend to go downhill. You know. So yeah, I mean, just hanging in there, like when the going gets tough, you know, never giving up. Like you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, great example, right? Davis Cup final, Lucy, you know what I'm talking about? Davis Cup final last weekend. Okay, Del Potro's down. This is crazy. Del Potro's down 2-0 against Chilich, right? 2-0, and then he's down a break at 4-2. He's getting blown off. I mean, he's not getting blown off the court, but I mean, he's done, totally done, right? And I mean, the chances of him breaking Chilich, who's bombing serves at 130, is not very likely. Breaks Chilich, wins the third set, wins the fourth, and then wins the fifth. And then Argentina comes back to win the Davis Cup. I mean, it was awesome. So, you know, just stories like that, like you just never know, right? I mean, whether you're down, you know, 1-9, you know, I mean, Daniel Moore's a great example, right? I mean, I played him in the age singles, and he's down 7-10, and I was playing great. I mean, I was playing lights out, and all of a sudden, you know, he hits 5 winners in a row. So, you know, just that whole idea of, you know, stay in there, be tough, and you know, you just never know what's going to happen.
Andrew Roddick played pickleball yesterday. You saw some of the footage. What did you think?
Oh, if the top 500, I mean, anybody who's top 1,000 right now in the world in tennis, if that crowd starts coming over to pickleball, watch out. I mean, it would be. I feel like it's going to be a much different scenario. You know, once that crowd comes over. I mean, obviously, it's tough to see on video, you know, but I mean, he looks solid. You know, I mean, the guy's amazing. Same with is his name Amir Delic? Amir?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Delic.
Yeah. I mean, both those guys look good, right? I mean, scary.
Well, they played with Kyle Yates.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, good example. I have a buddy who, and this has been great for me. I have a buddy who lives 40 minutes from me. He's 2 years older. He played D1 tennis. He's a 5'5" tennis player. He's been on my 5-0 team for the last couple of years. I introduced him to pickleball 6 months ago. And he lives, you know, a decent amount of way, so we can only play and stuff like every other weekend. He's an eye doctor. Anyhow, within 6 months, he's playing singles. He only likes singles. He's just like me. I mean, he was just like me kind of 6 months ago. Now I like doubles. He's been taking games off of me in singles, you know. So I personally think once that tennis crowd comes over, I mean, the playing field is going to be stacked.
So you like playing singles better than doubles, or are they kind of equal right now for you?
You know what? I love singles. I love doubles. Singles definitely has an edge over doubles. You know, and I think the main thing is that I just need to find some chemistry, like with a partner. And so me and Matt Gobble are good buddies. So I think we'll do well together. And then just a mixture of me, like finding my doubles game. You know, I'm just so stuck in the middle of what to do sometimes, you know, and it's just that whole idea of like, yeah, trying to, you know, dink, 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 and then keep it low, and then pop it, and you know, just all that. I just don't get it yet. So, with time.
Do you have any rituals that you do before tournaments?
Rituals.
Like a week beforehand, you like go through training regime, and how about day of? Do you do any rituals before your actual matches?
Right. I mean, nothing as extreme as, you know, some of the pro tennis players or like Nadal or any of that, but yeah, just some minor things like the night before. I mean, just like with anybody, you know, get a good night's rest. I'm definitely not in bed by 8 a.m. I'm kind of a night owl, so you know, I tend to. I'm not gonna lie. I tend to have a glass of wine or a beer or two a night. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just eat well, like before. You know, like the night before, have a bunch of carbs eat some good pasta, and then the morning of, have a good breakfast. I'm a big breakfast guy, and I love to eat. And then I like to go through a shirt before I play my first match, meaning I like to sweat through a full shirt. So I need 30, 45 minutes of drilling and just a lot of hitting, and then I'm nice and warm. So
so when you go to a tournament, how many shirts do you take?
You don't want to know.
Almost as much as me.
and do you do laundry?
Yeah, probably, yeah. You know what? When it's indoors, I'm like a 3-shirt kind of guy. When it's outdoors and it's 80s, I'm probably an 8-shirt kind of guy. Do
you wear the same shirt, or you're constantly changing different shirts? Your wardrobe?
No. I can't stand wearing a sweaty shirt. So literally, if my hat's a little bit wet, I'm changing hats. My shirt's a little bit wet, I change my shirt. So it's kind of funny too. Is I noticed a lot of the pickleball players tend to sweat in their clothing and then stay in that clothing all day. I'm just kind of a clean freak, so I personally just could not do that.
So how about you, Lucy? What do you think about that? Do you wear your pickleball uniform all day long, or do you change?
I am bringing a lot of clothes, definitely, for a pickleball tournament. I have like 20 shirts, and I'm using 3 at the end of the day. But I don't really sweat much, so especially during doubles or mixed doubles, I'm not really sweating that much, so I'm staying in one shirt all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Our draw is usually smaller than yours, guys, so we have less matches. So I'm just basically staying in the same shirt all day.
Right. And I mean, I'm speaking on singles. If I'm playing doubles, pretty sure kind of guy.
Yeah. I have a question for you. What ball do you prefer? There's so many questions and answers and arguments about durable or pure 2. What is your position on that?
Right. So when I was on the pickleball show yesterday, I was asked that same question. I personally love the Dura.
Genius.
I mean, you never know. I think the main thing for me is that the Dura is such a challenge. And playing somebody, I mean, just it's always a different bounce. It's always a different feel. It's challenging. It's tough. But I just love how I can drive the ball, slice the ball, and keep it low. And it just coming off of the paddle, it just seems so much cleaner than the Pure 2. And I just think that from a challenging standpoint, obviously the better players are going to perform better with that ball, right? I personally think that you're not going to see as many upsets with that ball just due to how tough it is to feel it out and stuff like that. So I love the Dura. When it's cold and I'm playing singles, I love it 10 times better. I can just blow people off the court and hit my forehand as hard as possible.
Can you demo your serve or stroke?
Can I personally, my paddles are in my car.
Really?
Do you want me to run out there?
How long is it going to take? We could talk to Lucy as you run out.
Huh?
How long is it going to take for you to run out there?
Okay, I was going to say, my serve isn't that special. Do you want me to grab it, though?
Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah.
So as he's going, we can spend a little quality time with Lucy.
Well, looking forward to that. What would you like to know?
Well, you saw Andy Roddick play last night. What did you think?
I think it's great that more tennis people and tennis players are coming into the sport. Sometimes, tennis players are making fun of pickleball people. It's it's pickleball. It's not really a real sport. I don't know what's the big deal about it. So it's nice to see that well-accomplished tennis players starting to play pickleball, even though it's exhibition or for charity purposes. They're still out there and they have a name connected with the pickleball. So it's good to see.
I was surprised to see how tall he was compared to the other pickleball players. How tall are you? You keep saying that you're a tall.
I am
kind of a tall
5'11".
person.
Yeah, I am 5'11", and I was also surprised because I always thought that Roderick is pretty short, but when I saw the picture on Facebook, he was pretty tall. I was surprised about that too.
Yeah. Are you kind of like one of the tallest pickleball female players out
I
there?
would say yes. Irina and I think we are two tallest ones.
How tall is Irina?
She might be 5'10" or 5.
So,
I think 5'10" or 5'11". Pretty similar.
so you're about the
I
same height.
don't even know.
Oh. You going home for Christmas?
Yes.
What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing when you go home? What's the first thing you're going to do? Is there kind of like a restaurant or pizza that you really crave for?
So I'm going home in about 2 weeks, and I'm pretty looking forward to that. Just spending time with my family. Usually we are not really going out eating a lot, so because everything we cook at home. At least my parents do. So
How many jars of peanut butter?
Like,
how many jars of peanut butter are you taking with you?
only one. I need to eat some Slovakian food as well. I cannot be too American.
I see. Okay, Tyson, you're back with your paddle.
Okay. I thought I'd throw a Selkirk shirt on as well.
Yeah, wow, look at that. He's
Wait.
making changes in his fashion
I am.
statements.
I think I should go change too while you're showing serve. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can't have him one up here in the fashion world.
All right.
So hey, I'm not gonna lie. So my serve, like when I first started, it was hideous, completely hideous, and all the PNW guys can vouch for it. Literally, it was the most powder puff, floaty thing that I'm sure most of the it was awful. It was completely awful.
Can you show us your pitiful serve, the first pitiful serve that you had?
Basically, yeah. Well, all I did was I laid my paddle open like this, right? I was in continental, and I simply just popped the ball over. It was just a floaty high serve just to kind of get the point started. And at that time, I just thought that like the serve was like a neutralizer. I didn't know you could actually use it as a weapon, right? And then let's see. I played Morgan Evans Nationals, and he blew me off the court with how big he could hit his serve. I couldn't believe it. And he was probably like one of the few guys that I'd played that could be aggressive with the serve, and like hit the ball pretty close to the baseline. And like I just had a hard time getting in. And so I think that changed it for me. I went home after that and I just started banging my serve. And then over time it got better. So, but yeah, simply, I mean, I would say my serve is somewhat similar to Morgan's. You know, I start like this. I lay the paddle back and kind of cock it, and then I really get some load and some push off my back foot, and then just extend the arm. But I'm trying to get some spin on it. I'm trying to hit it, you know, obviously below my waist. But the main thing is just using my body, using my core, and then pushing off that back foot, and then trying to get a lot of action with the racket head speed. So
I think you just want to be like Morgan, Selkirk, using his paddle, using his technique. I think you just want to be like Morgan.
I personally do. You know, I'm jealous of how much better looking he is than me. I'm jealous that, you know, he's got this paddle and I don't have mine. And I personally don't like him.
How about his accent?
His accent, it's fake. The guy's he's American. It's fake. No. Morgan's a great guy. I met him the first time up at Canadian Nationals, and at first I was just like, this guy's a joke. There's no way this is his personality, right? He's just the goofiest dude. He says a few, you know, jokes every now and then. Some are dirties, some are not. But all around, he's a great guy. So, and I like his paddle.
And Lucy, have you played with Morgan's paddle?
No, I haven't. And I like my paddle, and I'm just staying with my paddle. My choice is try different soccer paddles, like the wider version, but I haven't tried this one, the new blade yet.
So Lucy, you haven't signed with Engage yet?
No, we are still deciding. We have few companies that we are talking to, and we are still in decision-making process. But on the other side, I wouldn't play with your paddle because it's Morgan's paddle, and there is no way I would touch that paddle.
Oh, you stop. You're being sassy. She's
No
being
way.
very, very sassy.
No, never.
Hey,
I have my pink paddle here.
Get
See
her
the
off
pink
the show.
here?
Get her off the show.
She likes the pink. It's got to have some pink in it. Yeah, it's all about the style.
I saw it at Nationals. I like it.
So before we sign off, we got about 60 seconds or so.
Okay.
Where do you want to be in 5 years? What's your plan?
I mean, where's pickleball gonna go? Do we know? I mean,
it's going up. It's not going sideways. It's not going to stay the way it is. Yesterday, Roddick was playing pickleball.
Yeah.
5 years,
right.
Who knows? You could have Fed, in his 40s playing pickleball.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I'm gonna start teaching pickleball here in like the next week or two. But just same gig. I mean, obviously play pickleball, try to win a few national titles. Try to be the best I can. And then keep my day job, be a good father. We'll probably wait to have a couple more kids. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years down the road, we might have some more. But yeah, just continue on this journey. I mean, the last year has been a blessing with meeting the whole pickleball community and the whole social scene. So it's been awesome.
Speaking of social scene, how are you going to attract a mixed doubles partner?
Gosh, I don't know. Pay her.
Can you give us a little ad? I mean, what are your qualifications? Why should a female pickleball player consider you as a reliable partner?
So I'm a nice guy, right? I have a nice smile. No, I mean, shoot, I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm almost tempted. There's another pro who works with me. She's a 5'0" tennis player, a great tennis player. I'm trying to get her to start playing pickleball. Also, too, there's another good junior at our club. She just got a full ride to play D1 tennis. So I'm trying to recruit actually somebody from my area, because I mean that makes sense, right? I mean that's what Lucy's doing, right? I mean Matt's from your area. So as much as I would love to steal Irina's over in Seattle, and I'm pretty sure that she's taken for like the next 35 years. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just kind of keep my name out there. Hopefully I'll have some good doubles results in 2017. And then I can kind of work my way up. So, but do know, ladies, I'm a nice guy. I promise I won't steal all your balls like most of the guys do.
Okay.
But yeah.
He lets me hit sometimes.
Any closing comments? I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Lucy, have a good day at work. I'll see you at the US Open. Yeah, sounds good. See you guys.
Okay. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.